audience. Just hold it at me.
It shows being recorded.
Okay, ready? Most people only ever fantasize about traveling or teaching abroad, but few ever get the opportunity. I'm here to tell you how I got the opportunity to travel and teach English to young children between the ages of 15 to 18 abroad in the Verbal Spain. I'm Ibrahim Bajor, and this is a story of my 2-week teaching abroad trip at a camp called the Verbal, which allowed me to connect with children from a different culture than me, learn more about the culture, and adapt to living in a completely different society. So I come from a background of Peruvian and Lebanese, so the Hispanic culture wasn't something really hard for me to adapt to. But what I wasn't prepared for, however, was when I arrived that we weren't allowed to speak one word in Spanish. Everything was in English, and that's how the kids were going to be taught English. However, the way the trip would fundamentally change me as a human being and how it opened my eyes to things that I never really experienced or seen growing up in the United States was really my first point. Teaching abroad enabled me to connect to children living in a completely different culture. First of all, connecting with children as an authority figure in general was something I really never had much experience in. Although I've, of course, been around children before and have had relationships with them in terms of younger cousins or children of friends or nieces and nephews, I had never really been faced with a task that all of my teachers growing up faced, which I took for granted: maintaining a group and maintaining their communication and making sure that they're always aware and looking at what we're doing, like we're like a parent figure to them, and which I took for granted. Teaching them a brand new language and maintaining patience, that was the hardest thing we had to do, because the group of friends I went with, we all speak Spanish, so these kids, that was their first language, so we tried to, in a way, like, connect with them, and sometimes here and there we'd see some things in Spanish, and you'd get points off for everything you did, and at the end of the day, whoever had the most points got rewarded. As young children, they had a lot of problems with sitting still, staying focused, or learning the lessons I was trying to teach them. The kids ranged from like 12 to 18, so a lot of them were younger than us, and a lot of them were the same age as us. So for some of us, we were like older brothers, and for some of them, we were like close friends. Teaching taught me a lot about patience, which is a skill that I had never really realized would be so different for me. Especially me, I'm very impatient, so patience was something that I came with the trip. I often got frustrated or annoyed when my students didn't focus or didn't immediately understand concepts, but I quickly had to realize that I needed to be firm and have patience with them. On top of this, these kids were not American kids. Although in their eyes, me being foreign was a strange concept, because Europeans, due to the smaller size of their nations, are quite used to being exposed to culture diversity, especially in countries like Spain, because they get a lot of people from, like, what is the word? Tourists. They get a lot of tourists from other locations. So these people are used to seeing and talking to people from other places. They didn't fluently speak English, and I didn't completely understand their culture, and this was extremely challenging for me, but also taught me a lot about tolerance and the diversity of humanity. That humanity also opened my mind to learning about this new culture, and being exposed to it shifted my perspective as a human being. I learned about new kids, new kinds of foods, new kids, music, dance, lifestyles, and more. As a result of this, I began to change myself to fit this new culture. I adapted to living in this new society, jumping over the course of 2 weeks. So the first week, it was a group of kids that we had never met, and we played a couple games to like open up the, what do you call it? Like, how would you say it? To clear the air, so nothing is awkward. And then the thing is, for the first week, you get really used to the kids, and after the first week is over, there'd be a new set of kids. So the hard part was like you'd get really familiar with the first week of kids, and then that's the only problem that we had, that me and my friends disagree with, that we wish that the 2 weeks was the same kids, so we can really get a better connection with them and help understand them. Because 1 week, it's like you're just getting into the flow of things, and then they just take it away. So it's a really change. All of this changed me as a human being. I learned about myself as a person, connecting with other cultures, and connecting with foreign children. I tried new things, saw new places, and made really important connections. So I say, if you get the opportunity to travel aboard and teach kids, take it.